And we're back. I think we're back anyway. Hang on. There we go. Just to make sure it works. Make sure this all works as you do. As you always do, as you always try. So I'm actually surprised that we got the nearly 90% of it done before our first crash. Do I have to reuse the chat box? I have to change it. Source refresh. So we still have 4 hours to go. Four more hours to go. And it's telling. That is weird. No messages at all are now showing up. No, it is. Yay, we're back. We are back. And there you are. I don't know what the hell was going on there. Yeah, if you guys could shell it around. We have 4 more hours still to go. We ain't done yet. But, yeah. OBS just decided to be a piece of shit. I don't know why. It's OBS, I suppose. Let me just chill this around. Like I said, we got nothing but time. Nothing but time. If you're wondering why you can't see the live stream, right now, the other live stream, you can't go back to it, because it's going to take a long while to process. That is a 20-hour video.
Hi, everyone.
Not easy.
Hi, everyone.
To...
This is Walt.
Not easy to process. YouTube has to make sure that there's no outstanding, like, copyright claims. It has to go in the right now into the thingamajig with the wig, you know, the one words. It has to go into the right quality, and you know, it just has to process as a rule. So a lot of information to process. Oh. Apparently, Psychonauts 2 is fucking awesome. So that's pretty cool. I approve. I am 100% behind it. But yeah, I just have to finish shilling on Discord, and we can get back to what we were doing, which was talking about. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are we talking about? Oh, like Wheezy Beard and the like. The nice guys, the neckbeards. We shall return you to them momentarily. Where is it? So, alright, that's the shilling done. I didn't even put that many tags or anything on like YouTube or whatever. Wheezy, let us return. Yeah, let us return to the beard of the Wheeze.
Immediately messaged back, thanking her, and told her I'd be there around 11 if that worked for her car. Place. Conversation went as follows. OP. Hi, this is OP. I am sorry I was having breakfast with my sister. That we were all packed up and Wheezy Beard. I don't want to hear excuses. Just hurry up. I have plans today. If you aren't here in 10 minutes, you aren't moving in. Beep. I am panicking at this stage. I don't know anything about the man I was going to be living with. I should have confirmed that I was living with this older lady. She had made the listing, so I had assumed it was going to be her. Long story short, it was Wheezy Beard's grandma's house, and she had recently put an addition into the yard. I have a feeling this is going to be like moving in with the comic book guy. I talk about red flags and dating a lot, but having this be your first experience with a landlord has got to be a pretty big red flag. I had a whole car full of my belongings. I didn't have money for a moving van. My sister said for me to calm down. The worst case scenario I could stay at hers. I had no license and she lived nowhere near public transport, so it was not ideal. Plus there wouldn't have been much space. We pulled up at the address with a few minutes to spare and knocked on the door. A few minutes passed by, no answer. Knock again, nothing. I decided to call this number and find out what the plan was. He answered the phone telling me to go through the side gate. Weird request, but okay. My sister had 000 Australian police typed in her phone just in case. After walking around the side of the house, we saw a 2-story granny flat. A very large man appeared, squeezing through a sliding glass door, red in the face, panting like he'd run a marathon. About time, he huffed. I immediately launched into how sorry I was, that I hoped we could put this behind us and be friends. He sort of stiffened up as we walked closer. This man stunk so bad, I doubted he had ever had a shower. His hair was matted. He would often hide it under his fedora. Yes, he had one. He was wearing one of his many Marvel shirts, I think Iron Man, with his cargo shorts, socks, and Crocs, as if he wasn't enough of a pussy repellent.
He is...
Honestly, I always have a little trouble...
Yeah, he's the meme made manifest. He is the literal neckbeard meme.
believing it when he fits every single stereotype that perfectly. Even the fedora? I guess she didn't mention him actually having a neckbeard yet. Maybe that's where it differs.
I don't think I've ever had a
My
fedora.
name is
I've got that massive thing I wear with the coat. But yeah, I wouldn't wear that shit around, you know?
Wheezy Beard. I have had so many people visit, and I'm sick of showing them around, so are you interested or not? My sister and I were shocked at how blunt this whale of a man was. I thought about staying with my sister until I found a better place. Sometimes I wonder how differently things would have played out. Without thinking, I squeaked out "I'm interested." Taking that as a yes, with a half smile, he handed me a key and ushered us through the doorway. The smell hit us so hard and fast we could barely breathe. Like rotting food and cigarette smoke, the place was filthy. Like an episode of Hoarders, I see now why so many people were not interested, and he met us in the garden. I could barely make out the orange carpet below us. It was covered in crumbs, clothes, bits of Legos, cigarette butts, you name it.
Bits of Legos!
Already sounding out of breath, Wheezy Beard walked around us to start the tour. In the lounge room, I could see a full-out lounge/mattress, hidden beneath so much stuff. Chip packets, empty energy drinks, cans filled with cigarettes, naughty magazines, and a very yellow body pillow with a naughty maid on it. TV blaring in front of his bed. Posters of many different anime girls were pinned to the walls, all doing that happy scream face. Nowhere was safe to look.
Happy scream face, that's what that's called, and I don't think... Ugh.
My sister and I were very uncomfortable, and then taking our stares at his collection as interest, he said that bed was free to my sister and I any time. No fucking way. We just stood there, unsure what to do, and after a brief pause, seeing us not jumping to the offer, he continued down the shit show walkway to the kitchen, where everything was dusty, moldy, or downright putrid. Nothing had been washed up, and the floor was sticky, so you could audibly hear our shoes trying to detach from the floor.
Oh, it's like
Cobwebs
a movie
everywhere,
theater.
although not a spider to be seen. All the flies and warmth in the world were not worth staying here, apparently. This place could use a woman's touch, OP, heh. This guy was making my anxiety levels go through the roof at this point, but still ultimately better than moving back in with my parents. Bathroom looked barely used with an old towel that had streaks on it, and what I hoped was beard hairs everywhere. No toothbrush, and cigarette butts overflowing the ashtray near the sink. Finally, we got to my room. Safe to say it did not look exactly like the pictures. There was a bit of furniture, a smashed TV, and dust everywhere, but it wasn't nearly as bad as the rest of the house. Wheezybeard then cleared his throat. "Alright, ladies, I'm going out while you organize the room. The TV needs to go out the front for trash collection tomorrow. Don't be a stranger, Angel." We figured we needed to go out anyway, so we carried the TV out to the bins, put everything on my new bedroom floor. We put down a tarp for my mattress and piled everything on top until we could clean the floor. We then went to the shops to quickly buy cleaning supplies and my own kitchenware. No way was I touching anything of his. This is where Angel had to leave me, and this is where I leave you guys for now. I have so much to fit in, and I would like to make multiple stories so I can go into detail if this is popular and liked. Thank you so much for staying and reading this.
Walter.
I wish you all the best for this new year. P.S. I give permission for any of YouTubers to read this. I love Moonhorse, Reddix, and Walter Fate, and while they may not read this aloud, I want them to know how good it is to hear other people's experience, and I promise more of Wheezybeard's neckbeardy behavior will show.
How self-aware
I got a
can you
shout out,
not
even though I
be?
never post anymore.
At this point, you're just like, you saw the memes played up as a joke, and you were like, no, let's act like that.
I still find all the details kind of hard to swallow, but there are details about the story that make it sound real too. Probably the hardest part to comprehend is the OP actually deciding to move into this place. We've just been told about 50 reasons not to. Must have been really alluring to be able to walk to work.
Beast as an adult?
Anyway, let me know what you think about either of the stories I covered today.
The Final Fantasy house? Yeah, that's a creature all on its own, with its own movements, and I mean, there's no point us watching over that. If anyone wants to, Down the Rabbit Hole has a great video on it. That's some fucked up insanity right there. Like I said, I'm not gonna watch any more of his, because if yous are curious, go and watch it. He is, without a shadow of doubt, one of the strangest motherfuckers. He finds some of the strangest motherfuckers. Yeah. Oh no. No, we gotta watch this.
Do you know what time it is? It's time for Aunt Myrna's recipe.
It's a double header, that's right. Last week we did Aunt Myrna's recipe with the coleslaw. Amazing. This week we're doing party cheese salad.
The multi salad recipe. Now I guess someone's asking, should they eat it?
When I saw her make this in Alabama, I was like, goosh, I'm not sure about some of these ingredients, but then I tasted it and it's like a dessert. It's really cool. So let's get this thing started. We're gonna cook all this on the stove. Then we're gonna pour it in this glass dish, which I've never used in my whole life. I think my mom gave me this. So it's gonna be awesome. Let's get started right now. Aunt Myrna. Lemon, or you can use lime jello, celery, bell pepper, pineapple, and take your crushed pineapples and pour in the pan. All right, you're gonna do 2 small packets. I got a large one.
Wait, is this not another person cooking?
I'm not even sure what utensil to use for this. So I'm just gonna mix it up right now.
Not the party cheese salad. You know what? Yeah. We don't need to thrash over the same horrid walking roads Actually, hold on. Let's go back here real quick. Channels. Oh, he doesn't do any side channels. That's a shame. Ooh, I know what we could do. Nah, that looks morbid as fuck. Oh yeah. Let's have a look at this. I watch Charlie sometimes look at some of these places, and they're so expensive. They're so over the top, right? But they also look so ugly. Some of these look so ugly.
It's no surprise.
And let's have a look if this is copyrighted. I'd be surprised if it was. No.
Expensive of the lot. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. Number 10, 520 West 28th Street, $58.5 million. Architect Zaha Hadid is known for her bold and unconventional lines. 520 West on 28th Street is no exception and causes
Whoa.
a pedestrian traffic jam. But the inside is even more impressive. It contains 39 loft-like residences, each individually crafted with the artist's signature mark woven into the design. This 11,100 square foot triplex apartment.
Why do they always have it pure white? It's a bitch to clean. Right? Like this, it's so, like, one spilt glass of wine and it's ruined forever.
Is linked by a spiral staircase, and the floor-to-ceiling windows offer an unobstructed view of the Empire State Building. The master bedroom suite includes a white marble-clad ensuite bathroom, a walk-in closet, and
No, this is going to be absolutely like copyrighted. I think it was Ridley Scott or Oliver Stone. One of them said in the director's commentary, if you look at these apartments, they don't look like places you'd have kids running around. They're not homes. They're statements, you know? Statements you just so happen to sleep in sometimes. Nearly 400 million for this penthouse. Living in the what? Now, this seems interesting. All right, this seems like vaporware. No one has any rights for it.
The rumor of our presence has spread like wildfire through the tunnels. Hideouts you never imagined existed open up to us. The invisible brush up against us. The hidden reveal themselves to us.
Living in the tunnels of New York City. Now this could have kept me warm.
I got a message for you. We believe that Jesus is coming.
Oh yeah?
When going to come? 2008, May 21? Going to take the true believer, the true Christian.
2021, huh?
Be the end of the world.
The year's nearly over. Buddy,
for the whole human rights. From the Bible. It's going to be 5 months of atonement from May 21 or 2021. Okay?
Now here's a great comparison. Those massive, all we saw was the thumbnails and that brief image there, and now we're watching people living in tunnels in the same city.
You know, no sewers, because they have a... This belongs to Coronation, I believe.
And what brought you down here?
I used to sleep outside.
And how did you
In the
find
street.
this? How did you find this place?
My friend found it. You know, many people live here. Yeah, 8 years or more than that, but on the back.
Now, what did you think the first time your friend brought you here and showed you this place?
No, I don't like it. Before, when I came over here, I don't like it because it was too dirty, you know?
No.
I had to paint it. I painted. I had to do a little work, you know?
You have electricity. You're set up, so like.
Where are they getting the power from?
That's a blessing.
Are they going
And
into
how
the
do you get
lines?
electricity?
You take it for all the way in the back. I got everything dry, you know, because I got heat, this heat here.
Yeah.
I got another heat there.
Does he have
Heat,
toilets?
hot, so everything dry. You know, dry.
The noise of the train, for example, bother you?
No, it didn't bother me. Nah, it didn't bother me. I closed the door and...
He's a mole man.
What are you cooking?
Rice, beans,
Rice, beans?
black beans and rice.
Nice. And do you have water to wash yourself?
Sheesh. 2 of these.
2 of these?
2.
Show me what you have in your fridge. Yeah.
Wow, he's living like a king.
Pray.
Ooh, you think? I am. It's kind of like the world's not coming to the end because the Bible said it's coming to the end because humans are stupid. What's this? Japanese costume wrestling in Brooklyn? Oh, I remember hearing about these. Yeah. I'll tell you who showed. Yes, I'll tell you who showed me these. Benpai. He, I think it was on tap, and he brought in like 5 or 6 of us into a call, and he showed us these motherfuckers. And one of them came out like dressed as like a can of Coke. Another dressed as a phone. Dr. Cube. Yes. Kung Fu Chicken Noodles. Referees. Loud and noxious. Dude.
People in suits attacking other people in suits.
Giant monsters battling.
Oh, dude.
Not hard to explain. It's just something you have to see. The best way to put it is
I don't trust
Godzilla
this music though.
and pro wrestling smashed together and blend it up and spit it back out. us, it was just fun. It was just a hobby. We were just doing it at school. Just a bunch of students goofing around on the stage. And then I thought, probably make some money on this. Lots of people would come and we wouldn't expect it. And then they would have to like stop letting people in the building.
Cheers.
I had a can of soup from Japan, and it was just the packaging was all in Japanese, and it was just visually it was very interesting. And I thought, oh, this would be a great character.
So he just became a can of soup. Whole wheat bread. What about the feeling that these guys would be in an Adult Swim sort of parody?
Sketch of Dr. Cube, a guy wearing surgical scrubs with cube hands and a cube head. He lost the hands because he couldn't really wrestle with them.
Dr. Cube, I want Dr. Cube to win, then I can be a member of this posse.
I frankly want Pedro Plantain to win because his brother was killed, and it's messed up.
Pedro Plantain.
Chicken Noodle is defending his title, so that's who I'm rooting for.
Oh, look at little chunks there. This is their world. Fuck you, Vince. You haven't taken the joy out of wrestling yet.
Crazy characters doing crazy things. It's like life in a nutshell with weird characters. It's a classic battle of good versus evil.
Good versus evil. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
It's something we're all looking forward to, but it's not all fun and games. Anyways, here's a story about death, fun, and games. Frank Hayes was born in 1901 in Ireland. That's what I like to hear, but it also guarantees a tragic twist for this story. This island somehow originated the term look of the Irish, but anyone familiar with our nation's history can tell you Ireland has historically pretty much always drawn the short straw when it comes time for basically any event at all to unfold. I've lived here all my life and I've never known an Irish person with good luck, only one with good looks, and that's me. Growing up, Hayes had a love of horses, and he is...
What can I say? We clearly haven't been introduced yet.
Aspired to one day become a legendary horse racer. Unfortunately, for reasons that have been lost to time, whether it be his size, lack of experience, or simply the famed look of the Irish, his dream didn't come true, and he never experienced the feeling of winning a race. Instead, he moved to New York in the US and worked as a stable hand for a horse breeder, tending and training thoroughbred horses for racing. Some of these horses were winners, and although Hayes still enjoyed his work, it was a bittersweet feeling to watch the horses he had trained cross the finish line with other men on their backs, soaking up the glory. In June 1923, however, Frank Hayes saw an opportunity to finally be the man taking his horse to the finish in first place. This horse was called Sweet Kiss. Hayes had been training this horse for its owner, who wanted to test Sweet Kiss in a race in Belmont Park on the 4th of June 1923. The only problem was, she couldn't find a jockey. Hayes volunteered, and although he was a capable rider, with no competitive wins under his belt, the stable boy wasn't exactly championship material. With no other choice, the owner accepted Hayes as Sweet Kiss's jockey, but he would have to lose weight in order to keep up with the big boys. Big boys being a purely figurative term of phrase, as jockeys are traditionally quite small and thin, encumbering their horses as little as possible. To make sure Sweet Kiss wasn't going to be bogged down by his fat ass, Hayes underwent training of his own, jogging non-stop and avoiding drinking water in an effort to cut weight. He had very little time to do this before the race took place, and reportedly his training was very severe and took a lot out of him. But it was all worth it in the end for Hayes. On the day of the race, there he was, dressed in jockey silks and staring down the chance to make a name for himself. Sweet Kiss was a 20-1 outsider, but it wasn't going to deter Hayes. After the race started, Sweet Kiss began to make her way to the front of the pack. For Hayes, this must have been exhilarating. The 22-year-old's lifelong dreams were coming true right before his eyes and right underneath his arse. Things were looking good, but the stakes were high. These bloodthirsty bastards were all after the same thing, and they'd be...
Hey, wait, how many Irish people do you know?
Inch, one split second was all he needed to be the winner. Then, maybe the stable hand could be recognised as more than a stable hand. Maybe this...
And don't forget, guys, if you want to help the Irishman out, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we do have our stream goal, along with our Twitter and Discord. All 3 links can be found in the description down below. Any money given will help the computer along. Already gotten far more than I expected. That bar flew up fast. So if nothing else tonight, then so be it. But it really would help even a little. Adds up eventually.
Could be the start of his legendary horse racing career. As all these excitements and possibilities raced through Frank Hayes' mind, he he died. Amazingly, Sweet Kiss didn't seem too bothered by this and kept on racing. More amazingly, Hayes didn't seem too bothered by it either, his body never leaving the horse. The crowd was astonished to see the rider lead the race lazily slumped in the saddle. Who is this showboating sock-dodger, sloped over in a seat like some sort of base-born coxcomb? Astonishingly, Sweet Kiss won the race. As her owner approached to congratulate Hayes, he finally dropped from the saddle face down. A doctor rushed over, but Frank Hayes was pronounced dead at the scene. He had apparently died of a heart attack during the race. It was thought that this was brought about by the excitement of the race, and probably a result of Hayes pushing his body to the limits in order to drop weight shortly before the race. It's similar to how a lot of deaths in combat sports occur in the lower weight classes, as those guys often have to cut weight in a relatively short time for a fight. It can be dangerous. Although the winning horse was technically without a jockey, Frank Hayes was officially given the victory out of respect to the dead man. His first and last competitive win. Frank Hayes was dead, but he had died doing what he loved, and he had gone out a champion. He might have been a corpse, but he was the only damn corpse to ever win a competition in sports history. Maybe that's the true meaning of Luck of the Irish. He was buried in his racing silks. Sweet Kiss apparently never raced again, and from that day on became known as the Sweet Kiss of Death. But at 20 to fucking 1, I would call her the Sweet Kiss of Wealth. There were definitely a lot of drinks dedicated to Frank Hayes that night. Sure, why let a thing like chronology get in the way of a good time? This one is dedicated to Frank Hayes, without whom this video wouldn't be possible, as well as all my loyal subscribers. And if you're not subscribed...
Well, all I have to say to that is he should have gotten into dogs instead. How to make rice pudding? No, I'm not looking at him. I was mildly curious. Now I'm gonna have to watch more varied foods just to get him off my damn feed. Ooh, I already watched that. Yeah, I remember what happens.
Is that yours? Yeah, but we don't know how to do it. Oh, you need some help? Do you know how to do it? Yeah, this is our stuff. This is yours? Yes.
Alright, just putting that nice theme over everything does not a bit of Oblivion dialogue make.
No, it is. This is all ours. All of it. The chairs, the bats. Yep, that's my kids. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's okay. We'll let it slide, but I'm glad I made it in time.
No, I'm not making it slide. I'm telling you.
No, there's... No, step away from my shit. How about that?
You know what? I will, and then I'm going to put everything in the grass if you don't like that. Step back. Stop it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always just the same, like, it works only rarely. Fried egg, cheeseburger, Korean street food. No. Ooh!
Welcome to 18th Century.
Oh, Townsend. Now, Townsend's a lovely... a lovely gentleman. He is very, he's very soft and he's very, like, family friendly. He just wants to entertain while he teaches via food.
Doing a wonderful dish today. We're actually doing something that seems very modern, but actually works perfectly for 200 years ago. We're doing macaroni, or we might call it today, macaroni and cheese. Thanks for joining us today. Macaroni is a really interesting topic, especially in England in the 18th century. It shows up in like 1760s, 1770s.
He's one of those like living history
guys. Not for the pasta dish specifically, but for fashion, which sounds kind of strange. Young gentlemen in the 18th century, they would take a continental trip, English gentlemen. They would take this continental trip. They would travel through Europe.
Probably one of the more wholesome things I watch on a regular basis.
And they would get ideas for, interesting ideas for fashion and for food and all kinds of things. They'd come back to England. They'd bring these ideas with them. And many times they wore sort of over the top
dude, your hat
clothing.
Needs to be bigger.
And they would call these guys macaroni, or they would say they were part of the macaroni club, right? And part of that is because they went to Italy and they enjoyed macaroni, the dish, the food. but the reason why they were called macaroni was because of what they were wearing. Now, the macaroni, the dish, the food, doesn't really show up in English cooking, or at least in the English cookbooks, until a little bit later into the 18th century. You really start to see these show up into the cookbooks in the 1780s, 1790s. It gets much more popular. So the recipe we're doing today is from 1784. It's John Farley's London Art of Cookery, and this one's just titled Macaroni. Let's get started. So the pasta we're working with today here is a small tube pasta. It's hard to guess exactly what their macaroni was like. There are some other recipes, though, that talk about small pipe macaroni that you cut into pieces, so apparently it was rather long tubes. So today we're working with this, what's about 1.5 inch small tube. Let's get this 4 ounces of
Look at his
pasta
little
into a
chin
bowl.
dimple. It's impressive.
So our macaroni has boiled up nice and tender, and I've put it in the sieve to dry it off well, and now it goes into a tossing pan or into a frying pan. Along with our macaroni goes a gill of cream. So I've got a gill of heavy cream here. We're gonna pour that in, and a gill is about 1/2 cup. And this is a ball of butter rolled in flour that goes in here as well, and then onto the fire for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
After the 5 minutes, it comes off of the fire.
One great thing I like about his recipes is that they're very easily made, in comparison to some of the other stuff. Like a while back, I said I was living off journey cakes for a few days. He's the one who told me how to make journey cakes.
And here we add a lot of Parmesan cheese, and as the recipe says, toasted all over it. I'm coming in here with a salamander and toasting the top of this to brown it lightly. Wow,
whoa,
that looks so good. Well, again, this dish looks tremendous with that nice browned cheese up on top, and I'm going to add just a hair of pepper to my macaroni and cheese because that's the way I like it. Let's find out how this particular batch turned out. I really enjoy Parmesan cheese. It's one of those cheeses that shows up many times in 18th century recipes. A few of the macaroni and cheese recipes that you see the late 18th century, instead of Parmesan, they have Cheshire cheese, which
it's going to taste like mac and cheese. That's all it is. Like it's ground. Let me think. That's a weird question. How to start watching horror movies? You just start watching horror movies. Ooh, what's this? How to turn milk into a sweet and chewy snack. Gumbo? Gumbo where? Wait, I can watch this. Yeah, it looks good. Snipe Shabby. Yeah, it'd be more likely to be siphoning people off. He's fine. Okay. Looks like he's turning into soap. Yeah. Making slowed soap going on here. Feels like uncooked bread. Cocoa powder. I'd give that a go. Give that a go. Hi, Cobbs. Getting better. Eating bugs. We already watched that. Oh, that face, though. That face. This is something I need to watch.
Got a smaller dick, you pump a little faster. If you got a bigger dick, you go a little bit slower and then you build up speed until she's used to it. The thing you gotta remember, fellas, is that a woman's vagina is very sensitive. They're prone to infections. a lot quicker than a man's penis is. You want to talk about unfair. You gotta find the woman's G-spot, and then you gotta tickle her clitoris. That G-spot is the rough part in the back of her.
You know, you go down there, you twist it around, you put your head up against it.
I call it a walnut shell. And she leans down like this and starts licking the tip of your cock. Or after you get done titty fucking her, she just fucking goes to town, fucking starts sucking the cock. Eventually you're gonna bust. Men, I hate the fact that it takes women so much to orgasm. I wish women could.
You know, I've never really had this much of a problem with that. Maybe they're just struggling to get turned on when around you.
2 fingers on her G-spot and a thumb on her clit. You find your warm walnut shell, you get in there, you just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get in there on that walnut shell, and then you get in there on her clit, and you're just like, 2 fingers on her G-spot and a thumb on her clit, and you go to fucking town until she's had her moments. You'd be surprised, dude, what a sexually of age woman who is sexually satisfied does for you when you bring her to that moment.
You know what? Credit where it's due. At least he understands that, like, women just want to have an orgasm too. I think he's missing a few steps in it.
And you do it because you want her to enjoy it too, not because you want your dick sucked.
No, nothing of this sort. Of age. Alright, let's have a look at this fucking...
Your boy Cobra's got a
$60 Pizza Hut meal.
food review. What up? We ordered the Pizza Hut.
Oh shit! I love walnuts. I do too. You've seen me nibble on a few on the stream. I forgot I've got that noodles in there. They've been sitting, waiting for me like an of-age woman. He says woman the same way a Ferengi says female. And human. What's that beep boop all about? What's that beep boop all about? Oh boy. Beep boop. Let's see what that beep boop was all about. Was it the time? No? Oh, it was just an ad. Never mind. I really wish they used a different noise for that.
Big dinner box.
It's very confusing.
And we customized it. The 2 medium pizzas are meat lovers. Extra cheese, extra bacon, jalapenos, onions, garlic, buttery crust love.
Lips.
One
Those
pizza
lips.
has Alfredo sauce, the other one has barbecue sauce. For the wings, we went buffalo blazing hot. And for the cheese sticks on the side to go with it, yes. Oh, yes, YouTube. Oh, shit. Yes. We got 2 garlic butter cups for each of the pizzas, 2 for each. We got buffalo blazing medium heat for the wings. Oh, yes.
He has to.
Because nobody out-pizzas the Hut. Not a sponsor.
Numerous people out Pizza Hut, but that's beside the point. He has to hyphenate the words very, very, very carefully.
Oh, shit. Look at this. YouTube, look at it. Look at it. Oh, Wing Street, bitchin'. Your boy loves pizza. I don't care if it's Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's, Papa Murphy's, Little Squeezers. Yes. Bitchin'.
Man, that
Dinner
pizza can feed an
box.
African village. I found it fascinating that, like, he's eating all this. Like, I ate that massive pizza that I couldn't fit in through the door when I was incredibly depressed and gaining a huge amount of weight. What's his excuse? You know?
Bitchin'. I also got a 2-liter of Mountain Dew, but I dropped the 2-liter of Mountain Dew on the way back into my place. So I let that sit in the fridge for a minute.
Oh, I was going to say he says Mountain Dew everywhere now.
Yeah. First of all, let's see how hot these blazing buffalo
Ladies, can you believe he is single?
wings are. Boneless, blazing hot. Mm.
Mom, use your words.
Yo!
That's a word, kind
Woo!
of.
Word.
He said word.
Dude, Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Your boneless wings, delicious.
Great.
Oh, holy shit. Now, the Pizza Hut's dinner box is for a limited time, so get yours while you can, man. Because once it's gone, it's gone. That pizza's so good. They were super friendly at that Pizza Hut, too, dude. They were like, hey, man, thanks for choosing Pizza Hut and have a great day. I'm like, yeah, man, you too. Oh, I don't get to eat fast food too often these days, but holy shit.
Uh-huh. Okay. Just like I don't drink more than once a week. Right.
All right. This one right here has the Alfredo sauce. Let's move over to this side and see what this is, the barbecue side. Yes. One bite.
Can't he just... God help him if he had my beard. That thing would just be encrusted. There would be layers.
My face, yes. This is delicious. Oh, God damn it. You know, maybe you got one
Ever
side...
see his stuffed Dorito pizza? Sounds familiar. We watched the Eating Bugs thing earlier.
If you got a small...
It's like it's meant for a party, not just for one person. Did he down the whole thing, or what? Weeb stories. There's Fatal Water right off the back. Our embarrassing weeb years. No. Weeaboos in School cringe compilation. Yeah, okay. Oh no! I'm immediately aborting that. Yeah, we'll ask Reddit. What's up?
Congoers and cosplayers, what are your cringiest and creepiest con experiences? I've only been to one convention, but here goes. Cringiest moment was during the cosplay competition. There was a couple that was dressed as Toph and Zuko from Avatar, The Last Airbender. The, frankly annoying, host announced to the audience that Zuko has an important question to ask his girlfriend. Apparently it's a thing to propose during the competition.
I have a story. So before we go on and steal other people's content, I will literally tell this story. I've only ever been to one convention, the one in Omaha with Elf King and all their friends. There was this party, there was this competition for like best cosplay and the like, and they would recreate scenes from the show it was based in. And then it was kind of like the local celebrity they got in for it would then announce the winner. Afterwards, though, there was this girl troupe who were recreating this. I don't know what type of anime it was. It wasn't K-On, but it was something like that. And they all lip-synced these lines. Apparently, it was so popular that they made an English version, like almost band dedicated to them. I know that's like not unusual in anime. But all these girls were up on stage acting like these anime characters with these huge ass hair and like these maid outfits on, and they're like, and they're all like in their 20s. And Elf King looks at her phone and looks down, and it's from me. And I look over at her like 2 or 3 seats away, just glaring at her. And what I said was, I could have chosen to sit on a beach and drank cocktails and look at girls in bikinis. Instead, I get to live in cringe world. And you know what? She just kind of was like, and we all just kind of legged it. We all just went out to the food cart and back to the bar, and we went over to the gift shop and all that shit. It was beyond it. I felt my gums receding. It was that bad. It was just pure, unadulterated, woofed. And saying that, I think ContraPoints has a good point. What makes us cringe doesn't make other people cringe. And you have to ask yourself, does it harm anyone? No, that didn't harm anyone. And if anything, they were having the time of their lives. I wasn't. That's why I left.
So they do their little show, Toph throws a foam rock at Zuko, and then they just stand there awkwardly. The guy gets cold feet or whatever, because like 2 minutes pass where it's not clear what's going to happen. They walk off stage. Then the girl comes back and stands there for a few seconds, then goes away again. Zuko
Jesus.
comes back and stands there. The host doesn't know what to say. She
It's
kinda
like-
ignores him.
It's kind of like when you know, like your kids are at the talent show, but they're being forced in by their parents, and they just get stumbled out on stage.
Him and talks about how mean it is to throw rocks at your boyfriend. Zuko gets the hint and walks off. Then the host goes, oh, looks like he changed his mind. Maybe we'll get a proposal next year. Other highlights include a cosplayer making a very serious 15-minute speech about how cosplaying changed his life and everybody should follow their dreams. Please, my beloved geeks and nerds, do not propose at the con.
Propose at one of the parties at the con after you got your first 3-way. That way, at least you could say it was in the passion of the moment. Seriously, cons are just the most horniest shit in the world. Most of these motherfuckers don't know how to interact with each other.
There was a very awkward moment during the Q&A at the TNG panel at Star Trek Mission New York back in September. She said no.
Ooh.
Our first year tabling in the Artists Alley at an anime con. There was this girl, Probably 15, 16. That wouldn't leave us alone. If you've ever tabled at a con or hung out with artist alley people, you know the type, uninterested in what you're selling. Just happy to have a captive audience so they can drone on and on about their project that they're never actually going to write down, but it's all there in their head.
I
Will
know
never
these
take the hint that
people.
it's time to leave. She saw that we did commissions, and so she asked if we did NSW commissions.
Which is all the more weirder when you see like incels saying like, oh, I like anime and video games. No girl likes that. Put on some deodorant. Get a cheap stormtrooper outfit. Star Wars, not the other type of stormtroopers. Go to the con. Go to the bar. Wait a few hours. Have fun. Buy the overpriced Funko Pops. Buy the pictures drawn by your local artists. Listen to the panels. Let the alcohol do its work. Start dancing. Start talking. You'll be fine. You might even be more than fine. And then they'll just be like, wait, does that mean I need to have a shower? Yes, but you should be already having a shower. I don't want to do that.
My artist isn't super comfortable drawing that kind of material, and she clearly looked underage, so we said no. She proceeded to keep needling us about it, and seemed to notice that it made us uncomfortable. Well, this is clearly a reaction, which is all she's after. So she keeps on
Most want to talk. For example, if you see a girl walking around in like a skimpy outfit, just say nice outfit. And they'll rush over and be like, thanks, it took 8 hours to get right. You know, like, and they'll go into this fucking tirade. Especially if you go, oh, I know this character, you're meant to be such and such from such and such. Like, if you're ever going to stare at women in outfits, a con is one of those few ones. Don't get me wrong. Don't just stare like an idiot. At least say hi to them. Ask, did you buy this, or did you commission it, or what? And if they're not in a con outfit, just ask, are they enjoying the con? It's not complicated. Now, for me, I drew attention because A, I look like the way I do, which actually I didn't look all that unusual at the convention. And B, I was Irish. In Omaha? Yeah. I even met other Eurotrash. That was a nice surprise. I actually ended up talking to a girl from Germany. We were actually making fun of some Northern Ireland guys that had been making a move on her earlier. And she was like, yeah, they kind of were like, but we're really cool and popular back home. Apparently that was their chat line. We were laughing at it, and then we were kind of long pausing and staring at each other. Never did get her number. I'm kind of a little bit pissed off at myself for that. So many missed opportunities. I can't wait to go back to another convention. I'd prefer if it was in Ireland. And I'd prefer if I had someone to go with. Another geek, another nerd. Tried one year to ask a girl out there, and she said no. And I could have gone myself, but I don't know, I felt a little bit heartbroken. Well, not heartbroken, but crestfallen, I think would be a better term. Look, the point is, especially after the lockdowns have lifted, everyone wants to mingle. Everyone wants to fuck. Get cleaned up. Be prepared to listen to other people for a little bit. Go on out there and good luck. Because even if you don't kiss someone or feel a girl's ass up, or wake up in bed with a set of twins dressed as your favorite anime maids. I'm not saying it can't happen, I'm just saying don't get your hopes up that high. But still have fun. You might make friends. I guarantee you'll run across someone you know. Probably from school. or from like your first job, or from college, or something like that. I can almost put the. I think I can actually turn the lights off now and open up the blinds. I think we're back in the realm of natural lighting. But it's true everywhere. You know, are you at like a gig, a music gig? Are you at a or festival? Are you at a house party? Or no, not a house party. House parties in particular follow their own rules and regulations that are beyond me, honestly, because I've only ever been to about, as an adult, I'd say about, not counting family gatherings, I'd say about maybe 3 house parties. Proper house parties. And I didn't know anyone there, except for the person who brought me. But after a while, you kind of like your shoulders untense and you start talking about something. And pretty soon you're in the orbit of someone else's conversation. What's wrong with Northern Ireland? Eek, natural light. Yep. What's wrong with Northern Ireland? Oh, I'm too tired. I'm too tired.
Questing increasingly fricked up commissions that we do our best to ignore while we desperately try to start a conversation with anybody else that will come within 10 feet of our table. By the time she's done, she has decided she really wants my artist friend to draw her the kids from Grave of the Fireflies fricking each other.
What the fuck?
And also one of them is eating the other one's intestines. Eventually she decided she was bored and left. What makes this interaction stick out from other encounters with booth barnacles for me is the guy that was with her, around the same age, never said a word the whole time. But I could see in his eyes that he was deeply embarrassed by this girl's behavior, and really just wanted to leave. I could just read the saddest short story in that kid's expression. He'd found the one girl in his social circle that was into anime, and he was too socially awkward to realize that just because someone's into the same geeky crap as you doesn't mean that they're not going to be
Insufferable. No. I've known girls who were into vor. I've known girls who were into mpreg and was a garu and stuff like that. No, that's usually a giant red flag. Maybe not mpreg. Well, I kind of still. It's a kind of a giant red flag that, like, it's not just that they're insufferable, that maybe they need to go through a counselor, maybe?
Absolutely insufferable to be around. In retrospect, I really wanted to take that young man aside and just say, I don't know you, I don't know your life, but I'm just gonna say right now, you can do better. Run. Uber driver here. I was driving in Atlanta during Dragoncon and I picked up a dude dressed up as a refrigerator. I swear this thread keeps getting better the further I scroll down. Haven't laughed so hard in a while. Thank you. Cringiest. My husband cosplayed as Darth Vader around the time Ep7 came out. He was very popular because he's 6 feet 4 inches and built like a linebacker. Lots of requests for pictures. This guy who looked like he lived in his mother's basement came up dressed as a Jedi. And by Jedi I mean he was wearing a bathrobe and carrying an expensive looking lightsaber prop. He wanted to be recorded fighting Darth Vader, so he hands me his camera, didn't even ask, takes his stance, and proceeds to have an aggressive lightsaber duel with my husband, where most people took about 15 seconds to get their poses photographed. This guy dueled for about 2 minutes. My stomach was in knots the whole time from the awkwardness. Darth husband eventually had to force choke him to end it. This is the cringe I've been looking for. I used to sell art in the artist alley at local cons, and I never got to walk around too much since I had to watch over my table. But the people who come up to you can be plenty creepy and cringy. I had one lady come up to me while I was drawing and go on a rant about how this con would never be as good as Dragon Con, which honestly, who cares? She was also flinging spittle all over my drawing with apparently zero awareness. Also, women artists at the tables near me, always having to fend off creepy lurky dudes who just won't go away. It's sad. A massive and amazingly plotted out Sailor Moon panel was completely derailed by these 2 kids. They were about 10 and 12, a little young considering it was way late in the night, but it wasn't an adult panel.
I do like the adult panels, like going in at 10 or 12, like, From what I've heard, they can be really fun. But you know what most people do at that point? Once it gets really late in the evening, once the kids start getting weaned out and the ones with the fake IDs that aren't very good can't cut it, everyone kind of retires to private parties. And, you ever want to figure out if you can walk around nude in front of strangers, that's usually when it is. But that's where, like, the craziest shit happens. And it really all depends on whether or not you were smart enough a year prior to book a hotel room within, like, a 5-mile radius.
Panel, so they got in. A constant barrage of questions.
Especially if where you're staying is also a hotel.
A 5-minute rant on how their classmates at school don't understand what being an otaku is like. The panelist was clearly flustered but wasn't sure what to do about this, so she answered them and let them go on. She got to cover maybe 20% of her panel. About half of the room of 70-ish people left because it was just too much. This is why panels need a moderator.
Yep.
I was standing in the artist's alley
talking. Don't know why anyone let them go on as long as they did.
Some people at a table about the character I was dressed as, when some crazy person literally jumped on me from behind shrieking something about pretty cosplay. Then he grabbed my ass and ran away making bizarre noises. It was rather unsettling and peed me off considerably. This happened
she just got assaulted,
year, actually.
So,
me and my girlfriend were cosplaying Blitz and IQ from Rainbow Six Siege at a relatively small con. Things were fantastic at the start. Lots of "oh hey guys can I get a picture" just felt pretty good to get some recognition. We had worked really hard on the costumes and even made Blitz's flash.
I really like
couples
lights. When they go
a few hours in and some guy in a costume I didn't recognize shouts, "Blitz, I need to fight you." Sure dude, we'll pose for some fight pictures. No big deal. Well, he didn't really grasp the concept of posing and started actually punching my shield, which was made of some relatively thin pegboard material and the view slot was just plastic. I told him to tone it down and just put his fist against it so it looked like he was hitting it in the picture. His response? "It's a shield, dude. It'll be fine," and punches the plastic right out of the shield. I'm P. My girlfriend is P. The dude is ecstatic. He throws up his fists and battle cries before running off. Frick you, dude. I went to my first ever convention at the age of 13.
Now I think it's time I switch out to the last game of the night.
I just wanted to take pictures of good cosplayers. My friend and I spotted a very handsome and flawless Moroku cosplayer. Inuyasha was my favorite anime at the time.
Reason being
I was ecstatic and my friend pushed me in his direction to take a picture with him. I scooted close to him and, staying true to character, he groped my ass. It was the best goddamn day of my life. Years later, I realized how creepy it is to be 13, groped by a 20-year-old, and have it be the highlight of my middle school days. I cosplayed as Moroku for my first con, and I can't remember how old I was, but it must have been younger than 16. I must have had at least a dozen women, most who must have been older than me, ask for pictures where I groped their ass. I thought it was awesome. Teenage Homestuck cosplayers laying in the middle of the walkways outright dry humping and making out.
Yep. Homestuck appeals to most people because of thirst. They want to be these multicolored, openly slutty, snarky, Joss Whedon-esque, fourth wall breaking not thems, because they're almost certainly not that in real life. So when they can magically live up to that expectation, it's like when you go to FurCon, the one from Internet Historian, where there was like, they were doing whippets and taking shits in their fursuits and clogging up the toilets. And whippets, that one part, there's just like massive crates of whippets. And like banging everywhere, fucking in elevators and shit. So much so that they had to shoot it down because they're so horny and desperate and so self-aware, or they've stopped caring. And that's the really scary ones. The ones that stop caring are the same ones that will end up being arrested for like sexually assaulting people or animals.
When they were asked to move, they made a huge crap fit about it, accusing the staff of being homophobic. The Homestuck fanbase is super weird. One time I was cosplaying as Felicia from Darkstalkers, a character who is a cat girl. This girl at a con just ran up out of nowhere screaming glomp the Nico as she launched herself at me and practically tackled me. Then she stood there hugging me without permission as I tried to extricate myself, and she stank really, really badly. Also, same con and costume, some obese guy who was watching a door to check for badges told me I couldn't come in until I hugged him. Volunteered for large cons for 15 years, was on break talking to a friend cosplaying as Sailor Mars. She's an attractive girl and was sitting with myself and a con chair for a different con when a young male shuffled up. He opened by complimenting her costume. He then followed up with "I've fantasized about you since I was 13. I face palmed and there was a pause and he just sort of shuffled away.
That's also another thing. They see these people in real life the same way little kids see the princesses in Disneyland, like at Disney World. Like that's not Moana. That's not Snow White. That's not Sleeping Beauty. That's not any of them. Those are actresses, but those are also little kids who don't know that. Sailor Mars, sure. Okay, as a cartoon character, she's kinda hot, but she's also not real. So it's just like, and even if she was real, literally saying that is like the most creepy thing you could say to someone anyway.
Sailor Mars continued on our original conversation. I can only imagine the horrors she has had to put up with. For me it was last year at the Sydney Smash Anime Convention. I saw the Dark Magician girl figure where you can see the panty shot at a stall and this dude was just hovering it for ages and looking at it in different angles. Then started speaking to me about the underwear she was wearing. Then went off about hentai. Wasn't true this was a genuine conversation starter for this guy. A lot of cons now promote inclusiveness. That is, you should cosplay as who you want, etc. My husband and I were walking around, and he saw a girl wearing a great costume. She was with a group of people. He said, "Oh, that's really great." For whatever reason, the group openly mocked him. Like, full on mocking, mimicking his words, everything. I'd get if they were teens, but everyone there was at least 25 plus, and my husband and I are in our 30s. Seriously, what? Was dragged to a PonyCon by a friend who promised it would be fun.
PonyCon. The saddest thing I've ever seen from a PonyCon was, or BronyCon rather, it was at this like after show bar where they were singing these songs about adventurous magic, and there was like 18 guys huddled in the corner next to the stage where the 19th guy was singing, and they were tearing up and sobbing about how like we're gonna be strong together with friendship, and like it just like this is all some of these people have. This is all they have. This would be like if all I had was 40k or Elder Scrolls or this channel. Cuts back to the former thing about going outside and touching grass, you know? Or in a lot of cases, for these guys, touching ass.
Even like My Little Pony, but I went anyway. We stayed at the hotel that the con was being hosted at, and the first day that we arrived we are waiting in the lobby when suddenly a random guy throws a pony toy in through the lobby doors. He then proceeds to run inside after it and squat into some ninja pose to retrieve it. He is wearing a Free Hugs shirt. His friend follows him in equally as nerdy. They spot us across the lobby and realize we are there for the con. Friend was in cosplay. They walk over. No freaking joke. Pretending to be robots and say hey ladies and point to their Free Hugs shirt. I look at my friend like, no freaking way am I hugging these greasy boys, and she just laughs and hugs them. I stand firmly with my arms crossed.
Well,
She
that
gives
house,
me
New
the come
Vegas.
on don't be an
It's a
arse
good
look, so
place,
I
at
give in and
least.
hug them.
If you're gonna be
They
stuck
both
anywhere.
hug me soul crushingly
Except
tight
it's a
then
nightmare.
leave. They had that lingering schwy pants smell on top of rodent killing BO. As they were walking away I heard one of them say dude her TIES felt so soft against my chest. It's safe to say the rest of the con was heck, too.
Well, the sad fact is as well, a lot of women when they go to con, they also want to hook up. And this is the type of dude they're working with.
My then fiancée cosplayed as Kamala Khan. This one really creepy guy approached us and started up a conversation with her about how great her costume was. Then he spent about 10 minutes talking her ear off about all the people that he wanted Kamala Khan to have sex with in the comics. Dude, we don't care if you think that seeing her with Gwenpool or Wolverine would be hot. It's pretty creepy. He asked her who she wanted to see have sex with Kamala, which got the response no one. She's 16. Meaning the character, not the fiancé. That didn't really stop him though. We ended up having to walk away from him mid-sentence because he wasn't getting the hint. It's like being socially oblivious is his superpower. At PAX Prime this past summer my daughter and I were dressed as Link and Zelda. A man dressed as Ganon approached my daughter, who in her Zelda outfit looked to be about 17-18, but she was only 14, and told her so, why don't you and I head to my castle, while my buddies take care of the old lady? Sadly my sword wasn't quite sharp enough to bisect him. That's not even a good line. He should have suggested the two of you join him and make a Triforce. I sell some original comics and usually have a table, but the story that sticks out to me is that at a con there was a kid who was about 14 and pretty nerdy. He went on and on to us about a vendor having ice cream planets. I guess they were in Firefly. These were balls of ice cream on the end of a string that you had to eat while holding it up in the air. He made a point every time he had one to walk past our table making eye contact with us as he tried to eat this ice cream that was on a string. That food sounds problematic. Some
It
Deadpool
looks
cosplayer
weird.
was running around doing silly poses and trying to be witty and charming until he tripped in front of a large crowd and landed pretty hard on his knee. It was obvious he was hurt, so someone went to help him and he screams frick off as you can see tears soaking through his mask. Full grown man, jumping around in the cringiest attempt at being Deadpool. Smack.
That's how I see Deadpool as like, no one can pull Deadpool off in real life except for Ryan Reynolds, you know. And then it's a role. He doesn't act like that when the cameras are off.
Lashes his knee, lashes out and cries. This one sounds more in Deadpool spirit if anything. Maybe we found the real Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
I've been pretty lucky, especially as a chick cosplaying Poison Ivy, which is admittedly a pretty sexy costume, corset, heels, etc. No super hardcore harassment. The worst thing, I've experienced are people, men, getting really close or trying to put their hands on inappropriate areas during requested photos. Like, I'm okay with a photo but no, you can't put your hands on my ass. I've also had people ask me to leave my boyfriend and come with them, even if only for a night. Cringe dude, definitely no. This is a big ol' floofer, like Theo's video to pet the floofer.
Floofer. Yeah. Yeah, that's like the standard fare for this. This is great stuff though. Ask Reddit is there's so much great stuff because it's all coming from, well, you're under the assumption that it's the real world, you know. All right, I've held it off long enough. I've held it off long enough. It's time we get to it. It's time we deal with it. It's time we play some goddamn video games. Like we haven't played the majority of the night hasn't been video games. Like Jesus. And here we are. I threatened it. I warned yous. I warned yous it'd happen, but you didn't believe me. Why would you? No one listens to me. Well, guess what time it is. Yeah, that's right. We're playing Stardew Valley. Honk. Alright. Name. L-E-V. Farm name. Low energy. Favorite thing. Fucking beer. Oh, preference. I'm gonna go with kitty cat. Hair. Give me hair that's real. Whether I like it or not, it's fucking real. Of course, the most important thing in the whole fucking world. Amish beard? No. Regular beard? Yes. Pantaloons? Yeah, I do have pants on. What about your shirt? Meh. This is the most important thing. I think starting off in a forest farm is always the best. Skip intro. We don't need to see Grandpa die. We know the gist of this by now. Saving. Snips. Here's a little something to get you started. Nice. I know how this works. I've been here before. We have much work to do. Timber! I'm gonna be called DeForestin Dylan. That's what I do. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's rocks out of the way. This is a beautiful bit of landscape. Let us come around, destroy it all, make it flat and barren. Yes, my bumper crops shall come here. All the little animals inside running away to destroy their home. It's great stuff, let me tell you. 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I imagine there are people, if they end up watching this, they'll be like, no, you're doing it all wrong. Motherfucker, I've been up all night. I haven't played this game since I used to distract myself in Chicago as I listened to the fights in the flop house I was at. Counting the days until I could get the fuck out of there. And I haven't gone further than a single year anyway. Most interesting thing I ever did was I found that was it the mermaid pendant? Crafting. Really? That much wood? Jesus. Oh yeah, standing on your new crops. That sounds like a good idea. We need wood. Much more wood. You want to focus on I love watching the trees fall. It's very soothing. You want to focus on getting if you're going to focus on a lumberjack career, the very important trail mix ability. Which all you need is some nuts and a bit of sap. Don't ask how that works. Anyone knows deep down inside. Well, my character's getting tired. Oh. Right. Might be a bit better if I did this. Just tossing it out there. Now the critters will stay away. Aha. That worked out better than I expected. I like how all the detritus you get early on in farming you use to you can sell for a little bit extra coin. Mixed seeds, nice. More mixed seeds. That's enough work for one day, lads. It's only 4 p.m. Yeah, but I'm a farmer. I've been up all day. Whenever you see worms on the ground, that's a sign that there's something underneath the dirt. Also, it took me ages to realize you can go after all the trees in town that aren't like... Ah, it's what's his name? I'm Harvey, the local doctor. From regular checkups and medical procedures to all resident medical town. That's the voice I'm giving him, by the way. It's a rewarding work. By the way, you stink really bad. Have you been working all day? I wouldn't know what that's like. I'm quite spoiled, you see. That, again, is the voice I'm picking. Even if it's untrue. I don't think anyone's like that, honestly. Beer me up. Yes. Can you? Thank you. I have to get a coffee first. Because it's, what's coffee? Rice pudding. Drink coffee. Yes. Drink coffee like it's some weird ass. Hey kid, my name's Pam. I'm not gonna sip the good stuff to warm these old bones. Now we all know she does something. Okay, that's about it. Now I've got increased skill, speed. Speed! It's another dude. Speed. Oh, Jesus, my character's about to pass out from being so overworked. Suppose all he's had all day is some coffee. I could almost relate, except for all the other food I had. Soon, my friend, that will be me too. Farming, foraging, other. Alright. Now it gives you your, oh, I got watering to do first. It gives you your first fishing rod, if I remember right. Also, the beach is a good place to find stuff to sell. Oop. Fuck you, baby tree. You fool, if you let me grow, I could have provided you with much bounty. My counter-argument is that I want you out of my land. The Lorax does not approve this part of the stream. So much land, so many trees, so much bounty to take. Hey, Amy, good to see you. Going pretty well, actually, all things considered. That bar had 25 at the start of this stream. Beyond that, been having a good laugh. Gamed a lot, watched a lot of videos. Just got woke up by a gunshot next door. Oh, that's always lovely. Jesus. Some days are harder than others. Some days are harder than others. But I'm running close to the end of it. One thing I've learned, get up. Like, you just can't stay put permanently. That means stepping away from the computer for a few minutes? Do. You'll thank yourself. Coffee. And diversity. Which almost sounds like it should be so... Ooh! Wild horseradish, which is always good food to partake. Fuck you, nature. Yeah. I'm actually surprised I lasted this long. A few hours ago I was really thinking about just ending it, and I'm like, no. Give them me. You made a promise. See, I think your secret is the low energy. I'm too high energy for my entire stream. I can never keep that. Yeah, you are a candle, kind of burns brightly at both ends. It would be exhausting. I've also learned not to be afraid of just having a lot of empty space, you know? It'll turn some people off just to have a bit of silence, but then other people will be like, oh, this is kind of nice. To the point where I've realized the game audio wasn't playing for ages, and it was just people were like, oh no, we didn't mind. We were busy listening to you. Oh, cool. Nice. It's a nice little touch, you know? We are coming near the end of it, though. So any likes, shares, subscribes, bells, joining Discords, follow Twitters, money via streams, all that good stuff would be much appreciated. But more importantly, I hope people have been enjoying it. This has been probably one of the easier 24-hour streams I've ever done. The coffee really helped. Jesus Christ, the coffee helped. Starting to feel exhausted. Yep, I should really go and solve that before I pass out and miss a day of work. Fool, you went the wrong way. Tomorrow, also, I've got 3 drinks minimum with Drunken Crow and John Morgan. So at least I'll be well rested. Ooh, hello. Oh yeah, you're the what's the job? It involves wood, like the carpenter or the builder or something like that. My character's about to pass out, miles away from anyone. Hey, stuff. Harvest Moon ripoff. It is. Or you could say it's a spiritual sequel to things like Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon. But I think it has its own flavor all of its own. And it has the same, what does Yahtzee call it? Core gameplay loop. I mean, you've got all the characters and all their little fantasies and stories and all that good stuff. But, honestly, let's face it, like, at the end of the day, it's tending your farm, or as I like to do, cutting down trees, mining, building. I can get that better elsewhere. I could go and build in The Sims. So I fucking love making houses in The Sims. The Sims themselves almost bore me at times. Go to the tavern. Yep. Oh, I know someone who is obsessed with this character. Oh yes, I'm basically Fabio, by the way. RuneScape at the best wood cutting. I want to play some Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley. Yeah, this is Stardew. Never heard people talk about it. Yeah, it's charming. It's very charming. It'll charm the socks off if you let it. But you know, it's not for everyone. Case in point, I'm only now playing it at the end of the stream because so many people were like, no, I don't want to watch you play that, I want you to do something else. And I'm like, okay. Playing Harvest Moon games I enjoy as a kid when I first played this kind of game. Yeah, it's not every day I like playing these types of games either. I feel it's the same vibe as people get playing Minecraft. Game that I've always respected, but I never appealed to me. The Salty Sea. The Salty Cracker. New rod. Sir. Oh. Efficient stays alive. Oh, what? So you're giving me the first for free, but the rest is gonna cost me? Well, no, actually, you can make money. Pathetic. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to trip balls. Too quiet to be, I see that there, yeah, that's A good sign. Whoa! A lost book. That was a good find. Hell yeah. An oyster. I do have mods for this, but I don't have them installed. I never feel the need to. It's just... It's Stardew Valley. That's like putting mods in Tetris, you know? Coffee wouldn't actually... Yeah, give us a coffee. Inventory full. What can I get rid of? What can I get rid of? Okay, let's control that. Beer, drink in moderation. Whoa! Ah, fuck it, give me a spaghetti. I think it's spaghetti. Spaghetti. Make them eat spaghetti. That was some good spaghetti right there. I'm Jody. Hi, Jody. Well, I hope to meet a farmer. I'm a fucking woodsman. Doing jobs for people. Never really do that. What I like to do is... well, make a shit ton of money. Fat stacks. There's my little crappy farm. Soon those parsnips will grow into mighty, well, parsnips. Until then, we must act accordingly to our own wishes. In other words, some nighttime deforestation. Fuck you, nature. Bunch of field mice fleeing my wrath, flee to America. Aha, see? There they go right there. There's so many little angles here in this game I really like. The mechanic with people, if you want to be in a relationship, for example. Every one of them, or maybe don't pour water on the worms. Hold the worms. And get, I have no idea what that is. I have absolutely no idea what that is. I need to sell stuff, so I have to find out what it is. Yes. Oyster. Rock. And a whole lot of lumber. Chicken statue. Is that a good thing? We're starting to feel exhausted. Tim. One thing's sure about my city slicker ways. They vanish fast. I'm working overtime. I'm actually killing myself. I'm working so much. Cash money. Level 1 foraging. 1 axe proficiency. Trees sometimes drop seeds. Very useful. New crafting recipes. Wild seeds. Not great. What is great is that bad boy there. Field snacks. You make them yourself. Oh, hell yeah. There's mods for this? Oh, hell yeah. Ranging from just more items to cheats to complete character revamps to porn because it's the world and of course there's porn to it, to a huge world expansion. The one I have opens up massive areas. It's really cool looking. I've never put it in practice, but it looks kind of cool. Number one source for weather and entertainment. Now the weather. It's gonna be clear and sunny all day. Well, it ain't today by the sound of it. I like the 90s TV. It kind of reminds me a lot of, what's the name of it? The house in Pokemon. Pierre really wants us to buy shit from him. The only reason I'm going to go to his store is to hit on his daughter, who is my waifu in this game. I like the red-headed like teacher lady. She's hot too, but she doesn't like drinks. She doesn't like drinking at all. That's a netty no-no right there, in real life and in game. So you can cut down the trees a whole lot faster now because, well, I'm more or less leveled up. But also, yes, maple seeds, wood. Oh yes. Of course, I need to start. I should build a chest now, actually. Crafting. Yes. But of course, I can't. I can't because there's like no space. I am at a impasse. I guess I'll get rid of the mixed seeds. Sucks, but I need to store my junk. Place to store your items. There we go. Chicken statue. Gunther can tell you more about this if you donate it to the museum. Oh, okay. I thought we could do something with it, but fuck it, now we have that. Can you not fix that? I'm gonna hop off. I'm tired. I hope the rest of your stream goes well. Hey, just glad to see you. I know I am very, very exhausted. But I'm still also surprised just how not exhausted I am. It doesn't feel like 24 hours. Oh, coal. Very useful. It doesn't feel like 24 hours have passed. Oh, because A, they haven't, but B, yeah, so it's like, well, I start at 10:20, so 2 hours to go. It's best not to think about it. That's also another little trick. The moment you start thinking about it, the moment it just keeps on fucking lagging on. I did like just how much I diversified it. I was even thinking of doing something like GeoGuessr or something like that, just to pass the time a little different. Of course, what I really should have done was, I should have divided the stream into 2 equal parts of 12. That would have made a lot more sense, because that first one's going to be 20 hours and the other's going to be 4. You know? I could have then combined it into one 24-hour long video, but I didn't. Feckin' Egypt that I am. Put it in the... Oh! Wrong way. Need to make up some trail mix. I don't care what it's called. It's called a field ration. It's called a fucking trail mix. And it's very good for you. If you've got unlimited energy, you can technically, like, beat the game. There's no real ending for this game, as far as I can tell. You just keep, you go through different plots, you fall in love, you build a house. There's some interesting plots in this game. I know there's a drought at one point. There's a relationship with the company. The big company that runs everything. Who aren't played up as outright evil, if I remember right. They're just played up as, like, uncaring, I guess. Alright. I should have everything I need now to make some... trail mix. Acorn, maple, and pine. One of each. Okay. Acorn, pine. And behold. No. Eats field snack. Yes. I have the energy. So yeah, tomorrow, John Morgan and Jordan Crow. Then on Friday, we will be joined by Marshall and Marilyn, who will be there for episode 50. That'll be a pretty interesting one as we look back over. And we might not even watch anything. I think we're just going to talk. I don't think I'll give you enough the weekend. There's several reasons why. For starters, it's just nice to have a few days off. Also, I have to think about what exactly the computer is going to be. What's it going to look like? 3 p.m. Oh, I was blinking. I'm always paranoid that I'm missing something, you know, like a very important thing is happening right now. And if you're not careful, you'll miss it completely. That's not what this game is, but you can fuck up timing and shit. I mean, you actually have to work on a relationship, for example. It's a nice little touch. Look at the difference from when the day I got it. In 2 days, I deforested this entire place. I'm very proud of myself. Man cannot live on pine nuts alone. He must sleep.